How is it's me again. Look where I am. I'm back in my old art studio. Those of you who've been following me from the very first videos I made on YouTube back in 2009, even before the first Labyrinth of the Psychopath video, will be familiar with this place. I haven't made videos in here for a long time, mainly because, well, the wiring wasn't working and electricity was unreliable and hadn't been hit by a lightning strike a while back. And so I just recently rewired the place here myself, and well, someone helped me, but I saved money because I already had it, so it's good to be back in here. It's good to be creating again. I haven't been painting so much. I've kind of moved on to other places. I've been doing kind of sculptures and things like that rather than actual painting. I'll show you. This is typical what I've been doing lately. This is a table lamp. I know it's a bit mad, a bit weird, and a bit kind of, I don't know, odd, but it's a table lamp of the Yggdrasil tree, Celtic tree of life. And let me just switch it on here. And it's made from this self-hardening clay I get from Portugal, which is pretty fantastic stuff. And the branches represent. It's built around a wire frame drilled into a wooden circular base. These are 4 knobs here, and it represents the 9 worlds. The branches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 9th one at the top going to Valhalla. And the roots come out and they feed themselves back in again, going to the 9 worlds. And I put a lot of detail into creating the roots here. I've had it for 2 weeks now. The light bulb burning in it. I'm using a LED bulb, and it's great. I'm delighted with it. It actually came out much better than I expected. And I painted it in a copper color initially, which I didn't like. Then these splits that happened, I deliberately left them because they look good. The thing is, very strong. It's hardened with mesh inside, and I let it sit. I didn't like it, and then I spray painted it gold, and then used a polyurethane staining effect, which I will show you in other videos, because I want to make more kind of arty kind of videos, and it's like hobby kind of videos to show stuff I'm into to create the effect. It's rock hard. It's like stone, and it's a heavy wire gauge. It's a copper wire gauge frame, which so that's that tree there, the lamp, and that's the kind of thing I've been doing. I've also been kind of making miniatures and dioramas. I've been getting into that a lot lately, and no, I don't play RPG games. I don't do things like Warhammer. One of the reasons I never did that is because I have no one to play with, because there's no one into it around here. And secondly, it's very expensive. And the miniatures, a lot of the good ones. So I've been doing things like buying cheap miniatures, even toys from shops, and using my art skills and my sculpting skills to actually make them into something really quite interesting. I've always collected kind of gothic-y stuff, and my house is full of gargoyles and all that kind of thing. So we'll talk about that. But today I want to talk about the latest tarot video. This is the one that came up, the Tower. Okay. Now the Tower is very strong at the moment. The Tower card on the surface seems quite intense. You have the Tower with the lightning strike hitting it, the crown being shot off, 2 people falling to their death. Now it seems quite intense and quite dark, and the purpose of the tarot card is the destruction of the ego, the smashing of the ego, the smashing of everything you believed in up until this point, the complete shock to the system. And there's very much a sense of that in the air right now. A lot of people are telling me about it, and I go around, everyone at the shops and everyone I talk to, everyone's kind of like this at the moment. And so that's the Tower. There's also been tremendous lightning storms in England last night, and there's been tremendous lightning storms all over North America recently as well. And that's also part of the cleansing. I also feel that we're in for some big psychic shock soon. But anyway, what the Tower represents is the lightning bolt. In the Golden Dawn, it represented Lucifer, the pure light of Lucifer. It's also because the tarot is it's a canon of all the European folklore and tradition and mythology. To me, it represents the thunderbolt of the gods. It's Thor, or it could be Dunnar in the German canon, or Indra in the Vedic canon. They're all the same deity. The cloud cliffs, the striking of the hammer, the smashing of and the lightning coming to earth. The lightning suddenly destroys everything, but it kills and rejuvenates without being crude. That these people are falling down, they're going to be buried by the rocks that hit them, but they will fertilize the soil. I know it's very alchemical, really. It's the death and fertilization is very alchemical, but it's like when a tree gets hit and its rotten branches fall off, all the parasites and nutrients in that soil will feed the roots of the tree. And this is what makes the tarot so fantastic. It's so powerful and so wonderful that, like, if you have a shock in your life, rather than you being upset by it, what actually happens is you understand that it is a rejuvenational experience, and it's out with the old and in with the new, and then it doesn't seem so bad. Lon Michael DeQuette, the guy who wrote the guidebook to the Crowley's Lady Farida Harris's Thought Deck, which is, it's not the best book in the world. It's okay. I mean, it's an interesting enough book to read by itself. But he gave a beautiful metaphor of the tarot card, in that he says, imagine a building being knocked down and a building site and complete scenes of complete devastation, and you come back a year later and there's a beautiful new building and everything's been landscaped and people are working in this new office or new building or new factory or whatever, and they're producing again from the ruins. And that's exactly what the tarot card represents. So the tarot card is important too, because it also represents the aspects of the ego where you have repressed them, and if you do not deal with these problems, issues in your life, they will come smashing up from the surface and tear you asunder. They will blow the head off the king, that's what the crown represents, and they will completely, kingdoms rise, kingdoms fall. That's what really the tarot card is. It's Thor coming in to hit us with a thunderbolt. It's Indra coming in to crack the cloud cliff, and it's all good stuff, because in amongst the devastation, I think I'll break from my routine and do the star card next. In from the devastation, this sort of leads us on a kind of a journey through the night, and I might do the cards more relevant to this in the next order, because the journey from the striking of the tower through the dark night of the soul may seem dark and tormenting, but it's actually very beautiful. It's actually very beautiful and very nostalgic and healing, and this is why we love things like Gothic art, and this is why we love things like sad poetry and stuff, and sad songs. It's part of all that, the internal healing of the soul, to help rebuild the ego in a better, more complete form above. One more thing, anyone who knows me from my Facebook page knows there's a guy called Mark McMark. He's a meta-scientist, very intelligent, very clued in guy. One of the best people. I've got lots of fantastic people on my Facebook page, but an interesting and very astute, very clever man. He's written his own tarot book. I only had skimmed it because I just don't have any feckin' time, but I want to sit down and give it a good read. What I like so far, I really dig. I think he's onto really something powerful. I'll put the link to the book below. It's a very inexpensive on Amazon, and check that out. And the tarot card, kingdoms rise, kingdoms fall, and you know what? It's supposed to be that way. See ya.